Imagine you are sitting in a darkened room. The air is still. A single violin note begins to swell, rising in pitch and intensity until it feels like it might snap. Suddenly, the entire orchestra crashes in. A wave of electricity surges from the base of your skull. It rushes down your spine. The hair on your arms stands at attention. Your skin prickles with a cold, phantom heat. This is Frisson. It is a physiological anomaly that should not exist. Why does a sequence of organized air vibrations trigger a survival reflex designed for life-threatening cold or mortal terror? The answer is not found in the melody. It is found in a biological glitch. We call them goosebumps. Scientists call it piloerection. In the animal kingdom, this is a desperate move. A cat arches its back to look larger. A bird fluffs its feathers to trap heat. It is a response to a threat or a drop in temperature. Yet, here you are, perfectly safe, perfectly warm, listening to a Chopin nocturne. Your body is reacting as if a predator is in the room. Your brain is firing signals that suggest a crisis is unfolding. But you are smiling. You are moved to tears. You are experiencing a skin orgasm. This isn't just a quirk of the human experience. It is a window into a massive, hidden architecture of neural pathways. It is a controlled collapse of our expectations. We are looking for the ghost in the machine. We are hunting for the reason why sound can hijack the most primitive parts of our hardware. The mystery isn't just about why we love music. The mystery is why our bodies think music is a matter of life and death. To understand the chill, we have to understand the prediction engine. Your brain is not a passive observer. It is a sophisticated gambling machine. It is constantly trying to guess what happens next. When you listen to a song, your brain is milliseconds ahead. It predicts the next beat. It anticipates the next chord change. It builds a model of the world based on patterns. When those patterns are met, you feel a sense of satisfaction. It is the reward for being right. But the goosebumps don't come from being right. They come from being spectacularly, beautifully wrong. This is the violated expectation theory. It suggests that frisson occurs when a musical passage takes a turn you didn't see coming. A sudden shift in volume, a daring leap in melody, an unexpected harmony. In that moment, your prediction engine fails. The brain experiences a momentary shock. It registers this shock as a potential threat. The amygdala, the brain's alarm system, fires. It sends a message to the rest of the body. Prepare for impact. This is the controlled collapse. Your internal model of the song falls apart, and for a split second, your body enters a state of high alert. Then, the resolution follows. The brain realizes there is no threat. The scary sound was actually a beautiful crescendo. The amygdala stands down. But the physiological response, the adrenaline, the goosebumps, is already in motion. The brain compensates for the scare by flooding the system with dopamine. It is a massive chemical payout. You are being rewarded for surviving a danger that was never there. It is the same reason people enjoy horror movies or roller coasters. It is the thrill of the safe threat. However, not everyone experiences this. Research suggests that only about 50 to 60% of the population feels musical chills. This creates a biological divide. It suggests that some brains are wired differently than others. In 2016, a researcher named Matthew Sachs conducted a study at Harvard. He took brain scans of people who get chills and those who don't. The results were startling. The chills group had a significantly higher volume of neural fibers connecting their auditory cortex to their emotional processing centers. Their brains were literally more plugged in. The highway between sound and feeling was wider. It was faster. It was more efficient. For these people, music isn't just an auditory experience. It is a full-body emotional event. They aren't just hearing the music, they are physically processing it through their nervous system. This brings us to a darker realization. If our brains are this vulnerable to sound, it means we are susceptible to manipulation. The music industry knows this. Producers are not just making art, they are engineering biological triggers. They are looking for the millennial whoop. They are searching for the perfect frequency to trigger a dopamine spike. They are hacking the prediction engine. They are turning the controlled collapse into a repeatable, sellable product. The proof is in the structure. Most pop hits follow a rigid formula of tension and release. They build a predictable pattern, then break it at the exact moment necessary to trigger a response. It is a chemical transaction. You give them your attention, they give you a hit of dopamine. But when the process becomes this mechanical, something is lost. The organic mystery of the chill is replaced by a manufactured reflex. We are being farmed for our physiological reactions. If we look closer at the financial and historical expansion of this phenomenon, we see a pattern of institutional capture. For centuries, the church understood the power of the chill. They built cathedrals with specific acoustics to amplify low-frequency organ notes. These frequencies, known as infrasound, can actually cause the human body to vibrate. It creates a sense of awe. It creates a feeling of presence. It wasn't just God, it was physics. They were using the architecture of the building to trigger the architecture of the brain. In the modern era, this has shifted to the stadium and the streaming platform. The stakes are much higher now. We are talking about billions of dollars in broadcast rights and touring revenue. The anthem is a financial asset. Think about the Champions League theme or the roar of a crowd in a stadium. These are not just sounds. They are branding tools designed to trigger a collective frisson. When 60,000 people feel the same chill at the same time, they are no longer individuals. They are a single biological unit. This is the ultimate goal of any governing body or corporation: total emotional alignment. This alignment is achieved through the appoggiatura. This is a musical term for a leaning note. It is a note that clashes with the melody, creating a tiny moment of dissonance. It creates a ping of tension in the brain. The brain wants it to resolve. When it finally does, the release is overwhelming. Adele's "Someone Like You" is famous for this. It is packed with appoggiaturas. It is a minefield of tiny emotional collapses. Each one triggers a small spike in heart rate and skin conductance. It is a masterpiece of biological engineering. But why did nature leave this door open? Why do we have these high-density neural fibers? Evolutionary psychologists argue that this was a social tool. Before we had complex language, we had tone. We had rhythm. We had the ability to signal emotion through sound. The chill was a way to synchronize a group. If the entire tribe feels the same shiver when the leader speaks or sings, the tribe is more likely to stay together. It is the glue of human cooperation. However, in the 21st century, the glue is being stretched thin. We are consuming music in isolation. We are wearing noise-canceling headphones. We are trapped in our own individual dopamine loops. The social function of the chill is being stripped away, leaving only the chemical reaction. This is the deep dive into the problem. We are seeing a shift from collective awe to individual consumption. We are using a survival mechanism to pass the time on a commute. This wasn't a series of isolated mistakes. It was exactly how the system was designed to work. The system is built on the exploitation of our biological openness to experience. This is a personality trait identified by psychologists. People who score high in this category are more likely to experience frisson. They are more likely to have those dense neural connections. They are also more likely to be curious, imaginative, and emotionally sensitive. In a sense, these people are the canaries in the coal mine for human emotion. They feel the world more intensely, and because they feel it more intensely, they are the primary targets for the emotional architects of the world. The data shows that we are listening to more music than ever before, but we are reporting fewer peak experiences. We are overstimulating the prediction engine. When every song is engineered to be a banger, nothing is truly shocking anymore. The controlled collapse requires a foundation of stability. If the music is constantly chaotic, the brain stops trying to predict it. The alarm system becomes desensitized. We are becoming immune to the very thing that makes us human. This has wider implications for how we perceive reality. If our emotions can be triggered by a calculated sequence of sounds, how much of our feeling is actually ours? We like to think of our reaction to music as a deeply personal, soulful experience. We think it's about our memories, our heartbreaks, our triumphs. But the science suggests it's much more mechanical than that. We are essentially biological instruments being played by external forces. This extends beyond music. We see it in political rallies. We see it in sports marketing. We see it in the way news broadcasts use dramatic stings to keep you on the edge of your seat. They are all using the same tension and release model. They are all trying to trigger that same survival reflex. They are all trying to induce a state of frisson to bypass your rational mind. When you are in the middle of a chill, you aren't thinking critically. You are feeling. And when you are feeling, you are suggestible. The controlled collapse is a powerful tool for social control. By managing the expectations of a population and then providing a resolution, institutions can create a sense of relief and loyalty. It is the bread and circuses of the modern age, delivered through Spotify playlists and stadium speakers. We are being conditioned to crave the dopamine hit of the resolution, even if the tension was artificially created in the first place. This leads to a specific kind of sadness. It is the sadness of realizing that our most profound moments might just be the result of a well-timed chord change and a dense bundle of nerves. We are searching for meaning in the vibrations, but the vibrations are just physics. The meaning is something we project onto the glitch. We are trying to find a soul in the prediction error. But perhaps that is the point. Perhaps the glitch is where the humanity resides. If our brains were perfect, if we could predict everything with 100% accuracy, we would never feel a thing. We would be cold, efficient machines. The fact that we can be surprised, the fact that we can be scared by a beautiful melody, is proof that we are still alive. It is proof that we are still connected to a primitive, wild version of ourselves that hasn't been fully tamed by the modern world. The industry can try to map the neural pathways. They can try to engineer the perfect hit. They can try to harvest our dopamine, but they can never truly own the moment of the chill itself. That moment belongs to the intersection of the sound and the individual brain. It is a unique, unrepeatable event. Even if two people get goosebumps from the same song, they are experiencing two different collapses. Their histories, their memories, and their biology are all contributing to the specific shape of that shiver. We are living in an era where every human experience is being quantified. We track our steps. We track our sleep. We track our heart rates. We are trying to turn the mystery of existence into a spreadsheet. But the chill remains stubbornly elusive. You can't force it. You can't buy it. You can only create the conditions for it to happen, and then wait. It is a gift from our evolutionary past, a reminder that we are more than just consumers or data points. When that violin note rises, and the orchestra crashes in, you aren't just listening to music. You are participating in an ancient ritual of survival. You are testing your brain's ability to handle the unknown. You are experiencing the controlled collapse of your own ego. For a few seconds, the boundaries between you and the sound disappear. You are the music. You are the vibration. You are the glitch. The industry will continue to hunt for the formula. They will continue to refine their algorithms. They will continue to look for the God frequency that triggers a universal response. But as long as there is a gap between what we expect and what we hear, there will be room for the unexpected. There will be room for the shiver that comes out of nowhere. There will be room for the mystery. We are not just a collection of neurons and chemical reactions. We are the space between the notes. We are the silence before the storm. We are the only creatures on this planet that can turn a false alarm into a moment of transcendence. That is not a failure of biology. It is its greatest achievement. The next time you feel that tingle at the base of your neck, don't try to analyze it. Don't think about the dopamine or the amygdala. Don't think about the openness to experience or the neural fibers. Just let the collapse happen. Let the walls fall down. Let the hair stand up on your arms. It is the most honest thing you will feel all day. It is the sound of your own humanity. Why do we get goosebumps from music? Because we are built to survive the beautiful. We are designed to find wonder in the wreckage of our own expectations. The chill is not a mistake. It is the signal that you are still capable of being moved by a world you cannot predict. The music ends. The silence returns. The hairs on your arms slowly settle back down. The electricity fades into a lingering warmth. You are back in the room. You are safe. You are warm. But you are different than you were 5 minutes ago. You have survived the controlled collapse. You have looked into the glitch and found something worth keeping. The ghost is still in the machine. Is it a miracle or a mechanism? Maybe it's both. Listen closely.